Alrighty, guys. Start off our heart and thoughts and prayers go out to all the victims in the Las Vegas tragedy and all the families that have been affected. Sometimes football seems trivial when world affairs are going on like that, and this is one of those times. So from the Trojan family, we love you, and our thoughts and prayers are with you, each one of those families. It's Oregon State week. Being a young coach, I grew up watching Coach Anderson and how he runs things. I've always had so much respect for him as a coach and as a head coach. They are going through a lot of injuries as a football team. Offensively losing the starting quarterback in Jake. Garrettson to step forward. He does have experience. He brings a little bit different dynamic than Jake did, and the fact that he is an athlete that can do zone read and things like that. So obviously we're going to have to add that addition to preparation, and he can't spin the ball very well. He brings both twofold, both run and pass. We'll see where Ryan Nall is. We've been, watching him on tape. Very impressive player, big back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. Looked like he had a significant injury last game. We'll see where he's at. If he is out, then we got to prepare for Thomas Tyner, who we know from Oregon, and Pierce moving forward. At wide receiver, have been impressed with the young kid, Isaiah Hodges. They have a big set of wideouts, 6'3" plus at all three positions, 200 pounds plus, and provide some mismatch nightmares out there on the edge that we're going to have to confront with different coverages. Defensively, solid front. I thought did a nice job versus Washington early. Held that group to 7-0 up until halftime, led by their Mike linebacker, Manasi Ngalu, who is a really good player, leads them in tackles. For us as a team, we're in a great situation right now. You're always trying to improve year in and year out. And remember, this time last year, we're sitting at 2-3. We're 4-1 and control our own destiny right now. And really what I told the team, it's about us right now. It's really not about the opponent. It's about us setting our standard for the month of October and November, where we have been really, really good over the past 2 years. They came out. I was looking forward to seeing how the group came out today, and it was a extreme business-like atmosphere. They had their jaw set and really had one of their better practices. There's no moping around, no pouting around. They came out here, came to work. I wish we played tomorrow, to be honest with you. Injury-wise, we limited Malik Dorton and Josh Fatu, who both have knee sprains. We held Rasheem Green with an ankle and a shoulder. Marlon Tuipulotu we held with a back injury. Porter Gustin is out still with a bicep and toe. Jordan Iosefa continues to go through concussion protocol. Chuma Ndoga is out with an ankle sprain. Biani Talaimova has a pectoral injury that he is out. Stephen Carr has a foot injury. He is out. Daniel Mortabebe still was out here today. Got a little bit of work, which was great to see. He's progressing with that quad strain. Jalen Green is out with concussion protocol, and Greg Johnson will have surgery this week on Thursday. Good news was Toa Lobanon came back today, got significant work and looked good, as well as Stephen Mitchell looked good today. Hopefully expect him for the football game. Anything I can answer for you, fire away.
With Biani, is there a timetable, and then also where's Jamel Cook?
Jamel was sick today, so bronchitis, so he was out today. And then Biani, the pectoral, he's meeting with the doctors. They'll view the MRI and make a decision where we go to from there. I believe he'll be definitely out for this week. I'll give you further information after the family visits with the doctors.
Stephen Carr, is there any timetable on him?
Stephen Carr, I think right now with that foot injury, obviously he's in a boot right now. He's going to try to rehab. It's day to day, but likely doubtful for this game.
Definitely a bittersweet night for him, but Tyler Vaughn's had a great game, and how much are you hoping he can build off that going forward?
Yeah, really having the availability with Steven being down for a couple of weeks and then Deontay not practicing earlier in the week, we've really been able to see him grow, as well as several young players I thought played well in that game the other night. Tyler really shined, and to see that moving forward is only going to help us. To have a Tyler Vaughns, a Stephen Mitchell, and a Deontay Burnett out there on a consistent basis, it only helps the quarterback and it helps your offense.
You mentioned where this team was last year, this being the team's first loss in over a calendar year. How do you you kind of recalibrate the guys, maybe even those guys who were here last year?
I think they did it themselves. I mentioned the other night, I had, you know, as a coach, you kind of take a step back. You're hurting inside, but you also view your team and see how much they care. And, you know, like I said the other night, there were grown men crying in that locker room. There was not one word that was said on a 45-minute bus ride from the airport, from the stadium to the airport, and looked at their faces on the plane, and they were hurt. And I was really looking forward to seeing how they would react today, and I thought they took a major step forward. I told them today they're going to be a great football team, not what happens to you, but how you react. And the fact of the matter is we're 4-1, and for the first time in a long time at the end of September, we control our own destiny. We're not hoping for anybody else to win or a game to go one way or the other. We have to go out and do our job, and every goal that we have out there is there.
Even before this past weekend with all the injuries, the offense has regressed. How concerned are you about the way you guys have been playing for a few weeks now?
I'm hoping. There's always roller coaster rides in the season. I look at an offense that's scoring, you know, basically 35 points a game and about 460 yards a game. We were at, I think, 477 last year, so it's a little dip. I think it'll pick back up as, you know, we get a couple people healthy and we progress as an offense. What you want to be able to do is get better and better each year and better each game. And as a coach, you evaluate where you're at. Are we better from last year to this year? Yes. Do we need to improve from the month of September to the month of October? Yes, there's a lot of things to correct. I'm not going to BS you. And I know that T and that group will get it done. I have utter faith that they're going to get it done. There's great players on that offense that care, and T and his staff are unbelievable coaches, and I expect us to progress in the month of October without question.
When you say you expect T and those guys to get it done, how involved are you with that process?
Oh, I'm an offensive coach by trade, and you can tell I'm out here. I'm going to help every kid I can, whether it's an offensive kid, a defensive kid, even on special teams. I love to coach. I don't like to be my hands in my pocket. If there's something that I can view, I sit down with Clancy each week and go through the game plan. I sit down with T and go through the game plan. I sit down with Bax and go through the game plan. I give them my thoughts, my opinions on which avenue to possibly go, and then trust them and to make the choice that they feel is best for our unit. I think that's what a great leader does, is trust the men that are around him. But also, I like to coach. I mean, I like being around kids, and I like any opportunity I can. I'm going to do it. Where's my strength? My area of strength, obviously, is offense, so I tend to lean more towards there.
Is there an area on offense where you guys think you can make a big stride or anything?
Yeah, I think right now in two areas. One, the growth of young linemen. You know, when you have two true freshmen out the other night, and Clayton, who's really making his first significant play. Obviously, those kids are going to get better with each and every experience. And then the growth of the wideout core. I think, you know, Deontay's been a stable force, where Steven Mitchell came out of the gate really hot, and really excited to get him back and to see the emergence of Tyler. I think that group's going to grow forward. Hopefully, we also gain some experience and knowledge at the tight end position. I think about those two true freshmen out there in Josh and Eric Cromanhoek right now that are getting better with each game. So at the end of the day, you want to look up as a coach and look up and see where you're at, you know, at the end of October, the beginning of November, and hopefully you're playing your best football at that time. We're going to need to. We're in a conference race right now with getting ready to go through the heart of the Pac-12 South Conference, and you can't lose a Pac-12 South game. We learned that last year.
What are some of the areas in the passing game that you've identified as why in the past couple games it hasn't been quite as productive?
I thought last game, and I addressed this the other night, Zach, that I thought it was a hard day to play quarterback, because of what a defensive line tries to do is get a quarterback off his spot, especially when you have timing routes, and a lot of our routes are timing routes. And you know, when you're moved off your spot as a quarterback, that window opens and it closes in a hurry. And when you're moving, all of a sudden that window closes. Now you're trying to create, and that happened a bunch. I will credit T. One of the things that he did last game that I thought was really impressive, he identified that was an issue, and you started seeing him move in the pocket with some nakeds, with some sprints and things like that. It's a sign of good play calling.
Have teams made it harder for Sam, because one of his strengths is scrambling outside of the pocket, and there were times when it was always called like a sprint or naked, like you said. Yeah, I didn't see any completions against Washington State when he got outside of the pocket.
On the sprints?
I'm talking about other than the sprints, like just organically.
I tell you what he ended up doing, and I mentioned it the other night that I know we've talked about here a bunch, is, you know, you saw him make yards with his legs and not force some balls that just weren't there. We saw a lot of man coverage, a lot of two-man coverage, and a lot of drop 8 in that game also. And for him to be able to say, you know what, it's not there, and I think about significantly that first down that he made going into the red zone early, that was a huge play to keep a drive alive and put points on the board. So he did that 4 times in the game. I really pointed out to him and said, hey, that's a sign of a mature quarterback that learns and says, hey, you know what, I keep my eyes downfield, nothing's there, I'm not going to force it, I'm going to go ahead and take the yards running. All righty, guys, thank you.